Welcome to the Shiny-Headed Historian. Today, we're going to take a look at an important and often overlooked aspect of American history: the Native American resistance to forced assimilation. Forced assimilation refers to the policies and practices used by the U.S. government to assimilate Native American communities into mainstream American culture. These policies had a profound impact on the lives of Native American people and their communities, and they met with resistance from those Native American communities. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn as we take a deep dive into the Native American resistance to forced assimilation. One of the most significant examples of forced assimilation was the Indian boarding school movement. Beginning in the late 19th century, the United States government began to forcibly remove Native American children from their families and communities and place them into boarding schools. These schools were designed to assimilate Native American children into mainstream American culture by teaching them English, Christianity, and the ways of the white man. The children were often punished for speaking their native languages or practicing their traditional customs. Despite the harsh treatment, Native American children and families resisted the boarding schools in various ways. Some parents would hide their children or refuse to send them to the schools. Others would run away from the schools and return to their communities. Additionally, some children would resist by keeping their native languages and customs alive in secret, passing them down to the next generations. Another example of forced assimilation was the allotment of tribal lands. In 1887, the United States government passed the General Allotment Act, also known as the Dawes Act. This law divided tribal land into small plots, which were then distributed to individual Native American families. The idea behind this was that by giving Native Americans their own land and farming, they would assimilate into mainstream American culture and become civilized. However, the allotment policy had the opposite effect. It resulted in the loss of millions of acres of tribal land and the destruction of traditional ways of life and communities. The Native American resistance to forced assimilation continued throughout the 20th century, and it can be seen in such events as the occupation of Alcatraz Island by the Indians of all tribes in 1969, and the Wounded Knee incident in 1973. These resistances demonstrate the determination and resilience of Native American communities in the face of a powerful invading force. They also remind us that the history of America is not just about the actions of the government, but also the actions of people who are directly affected by these policies. That's all for today's episode of the Shiny-Headed Historian. We hope you learned something new and meaningful about the Native American resistance to forced assimilation. Join us next time when we dive into another interesting topic in history. Thanks for listening.